swung on and driven. High and deep into center field. The Red Sox are going to the playoffs. Say down. Say hello to October.
It's gone. It's into the bullpen. This game is tied. This game is tied.
Strike three called. 100 miles an hour. His 11th strikeout.
Dale winds. He fires. Swing and a miss. Strike three. It's over. The Red Sox have won the World Championship.
All right, let's go. We're back. Play Tessie, episode 342. It's the official Red Sox podcast of WEEI, presented by Baseball Isn't Boring. Get your merch at bbisn'tboring.com. Subscribe to Play Tessie wherever you get your podcasts. Rate 5 stars. Find us on YouTube. Subscribe there. Hit the thumbs up. And find us on the socials at Play Tessie, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. That might have been the best I've ever done the intro. Sammy's here. Pat's here. Gordo with you guys. And the whirlwind of emotions in this season continues. I think the Red Sox world collectively collapsed after the first game of the series. I think with the sell the team chants at Fenway, which we'll get into later. I don't want to start there, but they started the season 2-8, and a lot of people were coming to the conclusion that, like, damn, hey man, this team might actually suck. And maybe they do, maybe they don't. But what I know is that after that fateful night, there was one person who was willing to make a shrimp pizza and declared that that pizza would right the ship, and the Pizza Sox are 2-0 ever since.
Yes, thank you so much, Gordo. Thank you for making your shrimp pizza. Without the shrimp pizza, the Red Sox would be winless. So what would we do without you? I was at the game on Friday night. On Saturday morning when I woke up, I was legitimately depressed. Not in a season's over kind of way. It was just so much negativity at Fenway. Everyone was sad. The team was sad. The ballpark felt sad. That was 2-8. Yeah, that was the game that made them 2-8. So they had lost 80% of their game. Sorry, that was Monday, that game. And it got to me. It really did. So for the Red Sox to turn around, win this series, I'll say I'm pleasantly surprised. That's a good Milwaukee team on the other side. Surprised, I think I can speak for all of us. We're all kind of surprised that they won that series. That felt like silver platter for the Brewers coming into Fenway, scorching hot. Red Sox the exact opposite, but that's baseball. One good pitching performance, Garrett Crochet, can change everything. So again, pleasantly surprised. Not going to get too high, not going to get too low. 4-8 is not good, but momentum for the first time this year. That feels good.
Yeah, I just think it's kind of funny that the one person who was willing to make a shrimp pizza was on here no less than a week ago saying the season was over.
I go find me the clip where I said the season was over.
I'm kidding.
Go find me the clip.
I'm kidding.
Go
but
find
it was a very strange series because the Sox had no business, especially like just going into the series. The Sox had no business winning that series. But like the other side of it is you only saw Terang for one of the 3 games. You did not see Abner Uribe, and you did not see Trevor McGill, which was like just a weird, like kind of a stars perfectly aligned where you're like getting like an okay version of the Brewers, not the best version of. But hey, they're a damn good baseball team no matter whether it's McGill, Uribe, Terang, whatever. They're a good fundamental baseball team. They're kind of like the gold standard in my eyes for the brand of baseball the Sox should be playing. So that being said, I mean, a series win is a series win. It's the first of the year. You kind of right the ship a little bit. You're still, got a ways to go to get back to 500. But, I mean, you're off to St. Louis, and it's hard not to feel at least a little encouraged. I won't say good, but encouraged based off the series.
Well, that's the truth of where we're at right now, right? They hadn't won a series. Now they've won a series. It's baby steps. I don't like the series shouldn't nothing should change anything until we see an extended run of anything. Like the truth of the matter when starting a season is 20 to 30 games and you can reevaluate where you stand on a team. And if you look at the landscape of the American League, the Red Sox got off to an awful start. They're ahead of some teams now. They're ahead of the Mariners right now as we record, which is crazy. Red Sox are 4-8, Mariners are 4-9. Red Sox are a game behind the Blue Jays, who are in Game 7 of the World Series. There are 3 American League teams that are above 500 right now, and only one that's at 500. It's a bad landscape right now. The NL has been beating up on the AL. Pat?
It's pretty remarkable because that would then infer that 10 games is a small sample size. And that is not an ideology I subscribe to. I've been saying it for, the last 10 days or so. 10 games, you know exactly what the team is. You know exactly how things are going to shake out. So this is quite the turn of the tides here. Give you to Sammy.
Sorry, I was laughing. I saw a tweet today. I forget who tweeted it, so apologies if it was you, listener. But this time last year, Logan O'Hoppe and Wilmer Flores were leading the league in home runs, and Christian Campbell was a top 20 hitter in baseball. So small samples, they'll lead you astray more often than not. That's why we try not to get too high and too low, but it's more so the emotions rather than actually thinking the Red Sox are in trouble for me. That's what got me upset on Tuesday morning when I woke up, just the negativity. So I'm glad we get to have I won't call this a happy podcast, but a trending in the right direction, more positivity podcast today.
When I woke up on Tuesday, I'm curious about, because Sammy, I heard where you were at. I'm curious where Pat was at. Where I was at was, all right, I know I didn't necessarily go into the season expecting this team to be incredible or anything. We talked about their flaws ad nauseum, but I woke up on Tuesday thinking, okay, until further notice, I'm going to be surprised if they win. Right?
Oh, yeah.
It's
against
not
the Brewers, Mizorowski,
against anybody at that point. Against anybody at that point. Like it's not to say they were going to go 2 and 160 or anything, but it got to the point where it's like, okay, you need to prove to me that you have righted the ship before I just assume that you're going to write it today. Right? That doesn't mean they're never going to write it, but man, 2-8 is 2-8, and I'm going to need to see something before I start blindly believing in you guys. And to their credit, 2 wins is 2 wins. And yeah, they didn't, you're not going to crush Mizorowski. They beat him the way you had to beat him.
Yeah, they wore him down. Yeah, again, I think the reason that I was feeling down was just being at Fenway, surrounded by the negativity and just being hammered with it over and over. And everywhere you looked, someone was miserable, or it was a Brewers fan who was super happy. So I'm glad we've gotten out of that.
Yeah, I mean, you asked how we felt on Tuesday going to the game. I would say, fuck Tuesday. I'll tell you how I felt Monday night because I sent it in the group chat. Monday, 10:45 p.m. This is going to sound insane. The tide turns tomorrow and the Sox start winning games. Starts with crochet. I feel it in my loins. Nailed it. Nailed it.
I forgot you said that, Pat. Your loins were spot on.
They were red
Frothing.
hot on Monday night.
Frothing
They
loins.
were sizzling on Monday night. It sounded like a fajita when I was in bed.
What's a loin on a human?
A loin? I think it's just legs, right? I think it's just legs. But yeah, so I was sending that text, and meanwhile, my legs just sounded like fajitas under the sheets.
Well, they were right. Congratulations.
Thank you.
What did I just walk into? I lag out. I come back and I hear my legs feel like fajitas.
So you asked how we felt Tuesday. I said, fuck Tuesday. I'll tell you how I felt Monday night. And I read the text I said, this is going to sound insane. The tide turns tomorrow. The Sox start winning games. Starts with crochet. I can feel it in my loins. And I was dead on.
You're partially right. You were almost dead on. It starts with a pizza.
Oh my God.
I sent that text before your pizza. Just throwing that out there.
No, it's true. You did.
Yeah,
you did.
Yeah.
Do I have to try a bite of the pizza now?
No.
I mean, if you want them to keep winning, you best. I mean, it doesn't mean they're going to lose if you don't, but
I don't know, Gordo. When the Red Sox are bad and you come on here and you're hot and fiery, it's pretty damn entertaining. Maybe I will not eat the pizza to get more of that.
Joe?
If it came down to it, would you try the Fenway poutine or the Gordo pizza?
Gordo
The
pizza.
poutine.
Gordo
I actually
pizza.
want to try it. Like Jordan Leandre, friend of the show, he did a taste test and he said it wasn't bad.
Shout
Didn't
out
say
to
it
you,
was
Pat.
great.
That's the right
Yeah.
answer.
So my thing is, I'm also taking into context the environment because I like all of the ingredients of the lobster poutine. The last thing I want in my belly sitting in the sun is a form of seafood, a fuck ton of potatoes, and clam chowder. Those are the three things that I would rather die than sit in a hot seat drinking beer doing.
Well,
Gordo's
Pat,
Pizza. I can undo the belt, undo a little button on the pants,
You
sit
better.
on his couch. Yeah.
Okay, well, Pat, the game I was at was Boston was the coldest place on the planet. The game I was at, or at least that's how it felt. I actually would have gone for a lobster poutine if it weren't $39. That actually sounds pretty good. I was in grandstand, so it was like a big tornado of wind the entire game.
Ugh.
Absolutely frigid. Luckily, I dressed for it, but I could have used some lobster poutine. The Gordo pizza, which, if you're not familiar, is frozen dough that Gordo thaws out with frozen shrimp that he thaws out. No sauce. Gordo's smiling like a maniac, and then just a pile of cheese, and you can just imagine the moisture from the cheese and then the thawing dough and it's probably so soggy. And do you put garlic on it too, Gordo?
No, but I'm not opposed to it.
What,
So it doesn't. Do you season it? Is there any seasoning?
what
No,
kind of
but you
cheese-
could.
What kind
You
of
don't
cheese do you use?
season it?
I change up the cheese. You kind of alternate between mozzarella and 6-cheese Italian, but I don't get picky with it.
Wait. I feel you don't season it at all.
I mean, you could if you
Well,
wanted
if
to.
he's using mozzarella, there's a lot of salt in that already. But
Gordo,
also,
what
you could.
does
but
that
also,
mean, Gordo?
garlic should absolutely be a staple of this pizza.
Like garlic, if you put garlic on it, it would be good. If you
No. You say you could season it, or do you put seasoning and or garlic or anything
No.
on it?
No, I don't. But there's a lot of things that you could ask if I put on it. For instance, if you asked if I put sauce on it, I would say no, and I would not do that. Seasoning, if you wanted to put seasoning on it, you could do it. But I don't do it. But it's not because it wouldn't be good.
Eating shrimp
Oh
cheesy
my
bread.
Yeah.
God.
Okay, can I ask you guys a question? Gordo pizza or that Fenway pizza? You know what I'm talking about. That viral Fenway pizza. Which one?
Oh yeah, that was another thing that came out
Fenway
of the series.
pizza.
I'm gonna go for. No, no, I'm gonna go Fenway.
Come on. Think
'Cause
about the amount of
no.
cheese on mine versus that one. There's
No.
nothing.
No, but it also just looked like an uncooked Elio's pizza. There's some
Yeah.
tomato sauce on there.
So it's the tomato sauce that does it for you.
Yeah. Oh, I'm a big sauce guy.
Oh, gross. Gross.
What? Gross.
Hate tomatoes. Yeah. Brutal.
Oh my god. Grow up.
Grow up.
All right.
So what
Red Sox?
what was the moment in the second game where you kind of felt okay about the game? Because I'll tell you, for me, it was before they even scored a run. When Crochet got through the fifth inning scoreless, it was still 0-0. And at that point, for whatever reason, I don't know why, because they'd lost those games a bunch previously. But for whatever reason, when he was through 5 shut, I felt good about that game.
Same with me, Gordo. And maybe we have the same reason. My reason was because Crochet looked like he had finally clicked and he had figured out his command. In my notes here, I have Crochet bothered by the cold. Clearly, he keeps missing arm side. But then he settled in probably the third or the fourth inning, and he started getting into cruise control. Conversely, at that point, Mizorowski's velocity was falling pretty quickly.
Mhm.
And you could see he could really only command 2 pitches all night long. And that's all he needed for most of the game. But once the velocity started to go, the command started to go right after that. And that's when I felt, okay, the Red Sox actually have a shot to win this game, which sounded crazy at the time. But Garrett Crochet, crazy things happen.
Yeah, I think it started to feel pretty good in that like third, fourth, fifth inning. That's when I was like, okay, like they're playing some good baseball. I felt, I would say, really good about their chances of winning once they absolutely fucked up that double play ball and then still got a double play afterward. Because I'm like, okay, like that's the kind of thing through whatever it was, 9 or 11 games, 10 games.
10.
Yeah. That is the exact thing that's been biting them in the ass for 10 games. The fact that did not made me feel pretty good.
I will say, when Crochet hit that batter with the bases loaded in the 6th inning, I had all these negative thoughts and emotions. Was that Hamilton? Joe's saying
Yes.
Hamilton.
Yeah,
Okay.
he hit.
even more to my point, he hit David Hamilton. That's not a guy that you have to nibble around the corners with, especially if you're a lefty. So that got a little bit nerve-wracking. But how about our guy, Zach Kelly? Holy moly. That was the highest leverage spot that he's been in his career statistically. And he looked great. Like, I know his command wasn't perfect the first 2 pitches, a little shaky, but he locked right back in, attacked the zone. The cutter looked good. Like, it was moving a lot. The fastball looked good. Zach's stuff is nasty. He is going to find a spot in Major League Baseball as long as he wants the pitch, just because of that. If he can command it like he did in Game 2 against the Brewers, weapon.
You know, it's weird with him. I feel almost better with him coming into a close to impossible seeming spot than I do in just a clean inning if you're up 4 runs. That's just the way his career is gone. And yeah, for him to get out of that inning with no Justin Slayton and moving forward, I know they keep down. This is what they always do. They downplay the injuries. Last night they say, oh yeah, Slayton's going to be probably back tomorrow. It's not even an oblique. It's just a side injury. He's just sore. And then the next day it's 15-day IL oblique strain. And now they're saying it's going to be or Slayton's saying he hopes it's going to be the minimum 15 days. We've been down this road before. Can't assume that. So you're going to need someone to step up. And like Zach Kelly did in that spot, or how Tyler Samaniego in the last game of the series, how incredible that inning was for him. And I'm not saying you're just going to immediately toss him into those situations, but someone's going to have to step up. And those 2 guys definitely did their part. Zach in particular, that was unbelievable that he came in for Garrett Crochet. Like, your ace couldn't get through that spot, and understandable. He was at 105 pitches. They were really pushing him, but your ace couldn't get through the spot. And now it's up to you in a spot that someone else is usually supposed to come into, Justin Slayton, and you get the job done. And not to mention the defense behind him too. Caleb Durbin and Trevor Story fielding very hard. Both balls hit over 98 miles an hour. The Durbin one, I know he fell, but that was a tough play. Both those guys on the left side of the infield made those plays, and those guys, Zach Kelly, I mean, that's the heart of the Brewers order. They get right through it.
Talking about Zach specifically, he told us, it wasn't an interview, it was off the record, but he told us in spring training that he prefers kind of that heart attack, just go in right now, panic and go. And that was an example of it in Game 2. And it's a nice peek inside the mind of these relief pitchers, and specifically relievers. It's just interesting how that component of a baseball team works. It's so unique. There's no other sport in where you have a guy who just, their job is to come in quickly and then leave, and they're done for the entire day. And that's the entire job. So you mess up in that role, you got to live with it for at least another day. You do well and you feel great for at least another day. So it's a lot of pressure, and some guys thrive, some guys don't. Zach Kelly clearly likes being under pressure. So maybe we get to see him in more high leverage roles moving forward here.
Yeah, I think the thing with Zach is when he's on, he's gross. So like, as we record yesterday, so this would be, Tuesday. So when he's able to paint, when he's pitching to a lefty and he's able to paint that backdoor cutter and he's able to paint the corners, the hitters immediately kind of pick up on, okay, like he's just got to kind of dot me up. That's when I forget who he struck out. But that's when he can get away with those little like divey changeups, because it looks like fastball bomb in the zone falls off. He's going to get those chases. So when he's on and he can locate, which more often than not is the case, he's so good. And Sammy, like you said, like when he's on, the stuff is so good. Like there's always going to be a spot for him in any bullpen in the league. But right now, the way he's playing and the way he's been handling these high leverage spots last year and this year, I'm happy it's with the Red Sox.
Yeah, and not for nothing, they're going to need guys like that to keep it going, because I think what we've seen the last 2 days, not just with the bullpen, with Crochet, his start with Sonny Gray, he was amazing today, in full control the entire way. Probably could have kept going. I know he walked the guy, but I mean, they definitely wanted to get him out of there early. I'm not exactly sure why, but they did, and it worked. They're going to need to, it's what we said going into the season, they're going to need to win these games by pitching. When they don't pitch, when Ranger Suarez is going under 4 innings and letting up 4 runs, when Brian Bayo in game 1 of the series, weird game, second straight game with a ridiculous amount of whiffs, but he's got an ERA of 9. He's walking guys. I mean, I don't know. There's a lot to be intrigued with. I really just don't even know what to say about him right now.
He was but very, very tough to watch. Brian Bayo. Every at bat felt like it was like a minimum of 5 pitches. So much traffic. I think every inning he pitched, I know he didn't pitch a lot of innings, but multiple base runners in every inning. It was just the ultimate slog of a game, and especially in the freezing cold to sit through that was a very difficult watch.
But the point being, the key is going to be to get him on track. And there's something to work with. The whiffs, it's no lie. The cutter, he career high in whiffs on the cutter, back-to-back games with a crap ton of whiffs. I mean, there is something there. But
yeah,
you clearly have a long way to go because he's allowing a ton of runs. And it's the same thing with Ranger Suarez. You got to get him on track. I think we feel good about Crochet, Sonny, and Early. But the key with this team, it's what we said going into the season. When they pitch, they're going to be in games and have a chance to win. And from that point on, it's just about playing good, clean, mistake-free ball. And in the 2 games that we saw, what was the only mistake I can remember is that botched double play that Pat talked about, and they fixed that mistake right away.
Oh, actually, the game losing run came in on Marcelo kind of running the wrong way. It was a weird play. I think Marcelo thought that Contreras was going to get to this ground ball, so he ran over to go cover second base, but then Contreras didn't even make an attempt at the ball because it was much closer to Meyer, and that's probably just an example of Marcelo not playing a ton of second.
That's game 1, though. Not game 1's out.
Yeah.
They played losing ball in game. I'm talking about the last 2 games.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about what happened in game 1.
Yeah.
There were a lot of mistakes in game 1.
Yeah, game 1. Yeah, ugly.
The Roman throw from left field. Oh my God.
Yeah. Well, it was.
What are we doing that? Like, what do we do about that?
Well, Cora was saying he's not hurt. Hudson was saying it's a footwork thing. I don't know how I could buy that, man. Like, he was I think 50 grade arm all throughout the minors. Like, not good, not bad. Just don't really care. He'll play left field, whatever. He can throw the ball if you need him to. But this is egregious. Like, skipping the ball from left field to home plate and way offline as well. I don't know if it's
you were generous saying hopping to home plate.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was that's kind of one of those things. There's no explanation for it. There's got to be something that we don't know about. What else would it be? There's no logical reason for it's a fall off. Like, it's a colossal fall off in a relatively straightforward skill when it comes to the game of baseball, throwing the ball.
Pat, what did you tweeted something about potentially the yips? I'm trying to find Chris Davis's Players Tribune article, what he called it.
Yeah. So, like, my thing is, so I think it was the first one in Cincy. It was the extra innings. The run came in. I think I ended up I was kind of like, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt because it was kind of weird. It looked like he was like mid-throw for the cutoff, which I think was Durbin. And then Durbin kind of just opened the gate for a through throw. And he kind of like hesitated. So I was like, okay, bad throw, but maybe, some miscommunication or whatever. The last 2, I mean, the most recent one, you can kind of see. So he picks the ball up off the ground and he does this weird, like, short, choppy steps with no crow hop. Like, it's a very weird setup into a throw that you're trying to get in the air to home. So I don't know if it's an overthinking thing. Like, the first one just totally fucked him up. Now he's overthinking it. I don't know if it's truly just a mechanical thing. I don't know if it's the yips, but there's something there because he was never like this 80 grade Jackie Bradley Jr. arm, but this was never a concern for the number 1 prospect of baseball. This was never brought up.
Chris Davis with a K with the A's called it the creature. It was basically the voice in his head that made it impossible for him to throw the ball. And to me, in most cases, I would say this should be as simple as you work it out with him pregame until you're ready to go with him, and your outfield is Duran and Rafaela and Abreu. But unfortunately, you can't do – I shouldn't say unfortunately because it's a good problem, I suppose, but Masataka Yoshida has been hitting the shit out of the ball. He's hitting the ball harder than anyone in the league besides Jordan Walker. He has the highest walk rate in the league. Like, that guy's got to be in the lineup. And unless you want Masa Yoshida in left field, like, you're going to have to pick your poison. It's either Roman's out there before he's necessarily ready to throw the ball, I suppose, for lack of a better term, or Masa Yoshida. We've seen him out there. So pick your poison. But both those guys, in my opinion, against righties, got to be in the lineup.
The thing with the yips, if it is the yips with Roman, it's illogical. So there's not really anything you can do or say to him before the game that would, get him in that mindset, I guess you could say, to be able to make that throw. Because the entire concept of the yips is that it doesn't make sense. You've done this action a million times in your life. And this is something, I mean, I'm not a high-level baseball player. I never have been. But I've dealt with this before. When I was in high school, I used to pitch. And I remember one day I was warming up. And it's like my brain just forgot, how do I warm up? How do I throw a ball? And there was nothing my coach could say. And I pitched like crap that day. And so, again, I don't want to even remotely try to sound like I'm comparing myself to a Major League Baseball player. I'm not. But the fact is, yips is all about being illogical and not making sense. So it's not something that changes overnight. We saw Chuck Knobloch back in the day with the Yankees, 60-foot throw, and he's whipping it into the crowd 2 seats deep. Like, that makes no sense at all. Makes absolutely no sense. So I don't know if I prefer it be the yips or like a minor injury or something like that with Roman, but either way, it's a strange situation. And for now, I'm kind of more comfortable with him at DH.
So that's the question. I agree with you. To me, and you said it, it's not an overnight short-term fix. You're obviously the best case would be DH him for a long time until you work it out longer term. But you can't play Masa Yoshida in left field all the time, and you can't sit the guy when the team has, even with the victories the last couple of days, in general, they're still a team that lacks offense, and he's been some of your best offense, save for Willson Contreras and Wilyer Abreu. Masa Yoshida, like, those are your big three right now. Those are the three dudes that are hitting. Pat?
But you could also just sit Rafael against righties and put Durant in center.
Right, but then you're going to still have to pick. I'm fine with that, but you're going to have to pick a left fielder out of Yoshida and Anthony, which
Yoshida.
Fine. I'm fine with it.
For the time being, Yoshida.
Wait, question for you guys. Question. Who's a better defender? Roman without being able to throw, or Yoshida?
That's basically the question.
Yoshida.
I
think it's
I don't
Yoshida
know.
Right now, I would say Yoshida.
How often does a left field throw come into play? And I know it feels like it happens a lot because the ball will find you. Yeah. This game will find you, Gordo. But the reality is, a left field assist at home plate specifically, you don't see it super often, but if you do, it's always a big play. That's the issue.
The other thing, too, is I'm also thinking in terms of Fenway. Fenway right now, you go Yoshida. When you go to like Bush, and that's a huge outfield, it's Roman. The answer is Roman, even if he can't throw.
I honestly think the answer is Roman regardless, but it's going to get hairy. I mean, it's going to be hairy regardless of who's out there. Especially, and this is so frustrating because it's not something there's so many things where you look at the front office and you say, man, like this was obvious. Why did you not do this offseason? There's nothing with that, with Roman not being able to throw the ball, that just comes out of nowhere. I have no idea how it's possible. Do you guys think it's going to be a long-term? Because like when it first started happening, I said, okay, this is really bad and it's not the same as last year, but there's no way he just forgot how to throw. Maybe he's slightly hurt and it's something that in a couple of months will work itself out, but I just don't know. I feel like I've never seen this.
Yeah, I don't know either. But again, to go back to what I said a minute ago, it's illogical. There's no way to know. It could be done tomorrow. It could go through the entire season. Nobody knows. My question is, why does this keep happening with the Red Sox? You have Roman Anthony who forgets how to throw. Trevor Story's forgotten how to throw. Last year, Bregman forgot how to throw for a little bit. What is in the water here?
Cold air, Sammy. It's the cold air that can't grip the baseball.
Cold air, dude.
You know what else is in the air?
Stink from your pizza.
I was going to say beef.
From the meat pies at Fenway?
No. From Willson Contreras and the Brewers.
Oh, Willson Contreras totally won that exchange. He accepted the fight and said he was willing, showed up to the fight. Milwaukee did not want to fight. That was a bitching to the Brewers by Willson Contreras, and then they won both games after that. So, great job. He is currently trending very quickly towards one of my favorite players in the league.
It would have been electric if he puts out that PSA. If they hit me again, I'm taking out one of their guys. And then Miz hits him. Willson Contreras, Izzy Alcantara's his own brother, runs out to the mound and just ragdoll 6'7", 120-pound Miz.
Yeah,
that would have been perfect.
Make no mistake. I know Mizrowski throws really fast and he's very tall. Willson Contreras would absolutely eat that kid alive. That would not be good. That would be ugly.
He would snap him like a toothpick. It wouldn't even be close. Also, Miz is like a goofball. That's the thing is we really, if you wanted to see a fight, you didn't. I mean, first off, the fact that Brandon Woodruff has hit him 6 times is insane, and that fell into place perfectly because there's no way he was trying to hit him with that pitch, and it pretty much didn't hit him, which is what made the whole first exchange so crazy. But unfortunately for you, if you were looking for a fight after that, there was basically no circumstance where it made any sense to hit Willson, except for the 9th inning of the first game, and then he took him deep.
Mm-hmm.
It was funny too when who got hit? Was it Durbin? Someone got hit.
Oh, with the slider.
And it pans over to Contreras, and he just goes, like motions that it was an off-speed pitch.
Yeah, he knew.
Was it Wong? Was it? I remember thinking there's no way they would try to hit this guy, and it was also a breaking ball that was so obviously slipped.
A 1-2 count. It was a flipped breaking ball that caught him. I forget who it was.
You know what was crazy is we kept talking about, there's going to be a fight at Fenway, Willson Contreras. Meanwhile, while we were asleep, there was actually a huge brawl between the Angels and the Braves. Just thought that was a little bit ironic.
That's what I thought we were going to get. After seeing what Willson said and then seeing how Yelich and Woodruff responded to it and how they clearly were just thinking, not this bullshit again, not with this guy again. No. And the fact that make no mistake about it. That was a not great slide. He took out David Hamilton, clipped his leg. Cleat was up in the air. They would have been totally justified if they wanted to retaliate for that. They knew what was coming if they did. They didn't want the smoke. But if they'd retaliated for that, I wouldn't have blamed them.
Yeah, I mean, at the same time, Contreras has been hit by Woodruff 6 times, by the Brewers over 20 times. I think he's very in the right to be angry, never in the right to fight someone in baseball. That said, all 3 of us are wearing baseballs and boring hats. You know what's not boring is when there's a scrap on the field at Fenway Park. We've seen that. Guess who designed the hat that Pat is wearing? Joe Kelly. He knows a thing or two about fighting at Fenway. So I like the bad blood. I think Willson Contreras is perfect for this town. And Red Sox fans are going to love him. He's going to be one of these guys in 20 years. We talk about, remember Willson Contreras for 2 seasons with the Red Sox? That guy was so fucking cool. This is the start of it. And he's playing well.
I've been saying for years, I would say basically probably since Joe left, the Red Sox need a bastard so bad. Just a guy who will instigate fights, back guys up, just attitude. You need a guy with attitude. Willson Contreras is exactly that. Like, it's one thing, like, in the game. So the first kind of hint of it that we really got was the home opener, and he just pimped the shit out of a challenged walk. Like, he's walking up the baseline, hits himself on the head, throws the elbow guard, goes up. We're like, all right, yeah, that's pretty nice. Then he gets plunked by Woodruff, walking up the baseline, jawing. After the game, basically says, I dare you to hit me again. I'll kill someone. And then, like, that's the kind of guy that, like, you want, A, in the middle of your lineup, and then B, like, it's someone the team, like, that kind of personality, they haven't had in years. Legit years. And it's refreshing to kind of have. There's a difference between, like, passion, because, like, obviously all the guys have passion. They want to win, whatever. But, like, Contreras, and honestly, I would throw Sonny Gray in that category too. Those guys have, like, the animosity. I think that will carry into, like, the Yankees. Like, I think these guys are going to genuinely fucking hate the Yankees.
Yeah, you need someone on the team to sit the young guys down, especially, and be like, those guys on the other side are trying to take everything that we've been working for since Valentine's Day when we all reported to camp. There's got to be a guy like that. And Contreras knows what that's like. He was on that 2016 Cubs team. Like, he's been in some battles, rivalries too, with the Cardinals and the Brewers. He's not new to this. I love that the Red Sox have a guy like that. Pat, you're right. They did need some attitude. And it's a lot different than saying, oh, go out there and fight the other team. That's not what I'm saying. There's a time and place for that. That's normally a last case thing. Like, the last thing you do is that.
But it's also
fight.
But it's also
like, kick some ass.
It's also one of those things too where, like, especially Contreras, it's kind of towing the fine line of being like the ultimate competitor and like having that like fire and being that asshole in a good way than being a dirty player. Like I don't want like a dirty player. Like I don't want like a Machado. I don't want one of those guys. I want someone like Contreras who's like willing to kind of push the envelope. That's the best way to kind of put it.
I don't mind a dirty player if he's on the Red Sox.
I was
It's
going to
like
say, to play
Marchand. It's
contrarian,
exactly like
the,
Brad Marchand.
the slide was dirty.
Yeah, slide
Yeah.
was dirty, but he got hit for the 6th time by the guy. It's fair.
Yeah, but
that's
the
baseball.
Thing. That's the thing is, I'm all for it. Like I want these guys to hate each other, so this isn't me complaining about it. But there's no way in hell Woodruff was trying to hit him there, and he took out David Hamilton with a dirty slide. If anyone's in the wrong here, it's Willson. But I don't think anyone's in the wrong because I want these guys to hate each other. I think it's good for the game, and I'm upset that we don't get to see the Red Sox play the Brewers again.
But at what point do you not care about intent anymore? I feel like if I got hit 5 times by the same
That's
guy,
way
and
too
then
many times.
he hit me
Way
the
too many
6th
times.
time, then I'm like, dude, 6 times now?
I understand being upset if it actually hit you and it hurt, but that may have nicked the leather on his glove. You didn't.
It's not
feel
about
it.
that, though. It's not about that. It's that jolt of like, oh my God, it's right by my face. Like the zoop, the ball goes right by you. It's going 90 miles an hour, and I know 90 is not fast for Major League Baseball. It's still very fast for a projectile to fly by your face. Shock to the system, instant, flip the switch. Now I'm angry. That's why. He wasn't in pain going like, ow, my hand. It was more, dude, how many times do we have to go through this? This is the 6th time. Brandon.
I'm not going to get mad about it. And I'm certainly not going to get mad about it if he's going to have the game of his season so far. I mean, on base every time, hit the ball, 3 for 3. Had a great series. What was he? 5 for 9. 5 for 9 in the series. 3
His
RBIs.
OBP.
4 walks and a hit by pitch.
4
His
walks
on
too.
base
Oh my-
is 434 on base percentage as we record.
Yeah, so if you're going to perform and have a little bit of FU, Red Sox fans are going to love you. That's easy money in Boston. What else? We do have to get to the sell the team shit.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that's good before we do that? I'm trying to think
Yes.
if we're missing anything. Pat?
Not really a talking point, just a little nugget. Through the first 2 games, David Hamilton was playing far too well for my liking. Like it was frustrating to see that he was actually executing bunts and playing like Gold Glove caliber defense. It was very refreshing to see him make arguably the dumbest decision of the whole series with that double play where he just ran up and tried to tag and throw. And then also the one that just kind of ate him up and somehow launched behind second base. So that was refreshing to see the David Hamilton we all know and love.
Sammy, I think you and I were the only people in Red Sox Nation who thought that David Hamilton could be good. And definitely, I'm not surprised at all that the Brewers are the team that's getting good play out of him. Like this was obvious. I'm not saying he's gonna. I mean, I think he has like the 4th highest walk rate in baseball right now, or he did going into today.
But that won't last though. But it's still, you notice the fundamentals are a bit improved. The Brewers are just so good at that. I wonder how there's got to be someone way smarter than all of us combined who can explain why some teams are so good at creating fundamental players and some teams are not, like the Red Sox, good at creating fundamental players. Also want to give a shout out to Trevor Story. He wasn't fantastic by any means, but he was much better making hard contact. The defense got better. Still, again, I maintain I don't think he's going to become a plus defender, maybe not even an average defender at shortstop anymore. But he was good in this series against Milwaukee. That's all I care about right now. And more importantly, squaring up the ball. I like him hitting 5th way more than I like him hitting 2nd. I don't know if I've ever seen Red Sox Nation on the same page more so than not wanting Trevor Story to hit 2nd. It just was a weird fit from day one. So good to see him get going. The offense badly needs him to keep doing that.
5-hole Story.
Yeah, I think the other thing with Story is tip of the cap to Cora for actually bumping him down the lineup. Cora said on the afternoon show on Tuesday that he thought it was more of like an approach thing because Roman wasn't hitting. next in line is him, and Story kind of shoulders the burden of, okay, Roman didn't get things going, now I have to, and he's just overly aggressive. You can tell the approach is way, way different when he's hitting fifth. He's way more patient. There's a more clear approach. He's still chasing, but not nearly as much as he was. Whether that's, a kind of a kick in the ass because they moved him to fifth, or whether it truly is just an approach thing where he's like, well, I mean, this series, Willson was constantly on base, so it's not like he had to get things going, but he also was given kind of the good fortune and the ability to be a little bit more patient, a little bit more picky. I think they should just stick with him at the 5, even if he starts hitting.
It's 5-hole Story. I agree with you, Pat. And I don't think any of us thought that Trevor Story was going to be a complete zero offensively the whole year. But it's not a coincidence that the second, okay, we're going to finally bite the bullet. We're going to make the move. You're going to hit fifth. And that's when he starts to have, because it's not just, oh, he got some hits. The at-bats were way more competitive too. And to me, sometimes when you're afraid of something that might be lurking, you're waiting for something bad to happen, once the bad thing actually happens and you have a little bit of mental freedom, like Trevor Story was not going to get benched here, guys. He was going to, the bad thing, if it was going to happen for him, was going to be getting moved down the order. It happened. Frees you up mentally. I felt a little bit of that when they hit 2 and 8, because to me it was, okay, it cannot get worse than this. I think I even tweeted it. They may not be amazing, but they are certainly better than this. It cannot get worse than this. When you hit rock bottom, that's what allows you to bounce back up. I think maybe it was not necessarily rock bottom for Story, but maybe it felt like rock bottom. And when you hit getting moved down in the order, maybe that allowed him to bounce back mentally. I don't know, but that was good. And then I want to shout out one more thing before we get to the sell the team thing. Giovanni Moran. He's not gonna get a lot of chatter because it was in the loss, but 3 innings.
Save the pen.
Saved the pen. Kept him in that game. Asked a ton of them. 4 strikeouts, just 1 hit. Sammy, I think the only run that scored was the play that you were talking about where Meyer ran to second and the ground ball went. I think that was the only hit he allowed, right? You're muted and it's awkward.
Oh, so sorry. I believe so. Something like that. Either way, he was awesome. And when he was coming into the game, I said to my friend, this guy is so-so, but the Red Sox seem to love him. So we'll see. Maybe he's better than people think. And great outing. Like Pat said, he saved the pen, and Gordo, like you said, kept him in the game, 2 for 1. I said, if the Red Sox win this game, Giovanni Moran should get a ton of credit. Unfortunately, he didn't win, but we're still giving him credit. Joe?
Wow, participation trophy.
Yeah, participation's all around. I also want to shout out before you guys move on. Major League debut for Sammy 2.0, Tyler Samaniego. He came in super, he got called up this morning and was thrown basically into the fire because he had no Slayton. Whitlock obviously wasn't in. And then you were hoping you didn't have to, go to Chapman or whatever. So luckily, our guy Weissert, clean-ish inning. Then you go to Samaniego, 3 strikeouts out of the 4 guys he faces. Absolutely sick. Absolutely sick.
And the top of their order too. Those are the big guns.
Yeah, Yelich. Got Yelich. Are we all on the same page? It's how Joe said it, Samaniego?
Yeah.
Samaniego.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we're all
in the world is Samaniego.
And then I'm 90% sure I overheard someone calling him Sammy in camp.
Oh, yeah,
so I'm gonna stick with that. Cool.
He's Sammy.
Sammy and
that was awesome. I can't wait to watch it again. I want to see if it repeats, because that was some crazy shit we saw today.
He looked like a Sammy out there.
Oh yeah. All right. Sell the team stuff, guys. We said we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. It feels a little bit weird because you're coming off 2 wins, but I've never heard so many. I've heard some sell the team chants at Fenway before. Certainly not in an April. It's like at an end of the season. It's September. Team's out of it. They should have been in it, but the ownership didn't spend. This is April. This is in game 10. And Sammy, you were there too. It was loud and it was frequent. And there was even some sarcastic "Let's go Celtics" chants at the end of the game, which to me was even meaner. Because all right, this team useless. Like, we're on to those guys, even though we're sitting here in your park. Like, we're going to watch those guys.
Mhm.
So I was curious for your guys' thoughts on it. Is the sell the team appropriate for where we are right now?
Appropriate is a tough way to frame the question. I think it's fair for fans to be upset when the team is 2-8 and it's become a bit of a trend over the recent seasons where the team just starts off super slow. Compile that with no Bregman around, no Devers around, and then you can go further back. Xander didn't come back. Mookie left, and there's other guys along the way as well that we can mention. It's just a cacophony, I think is the word,
Ooh.
of bad things coming from the front office. It's not just the team on the field. And that's where I think people got confused, because I was talking about it online on socials with people, and a lot of people were just saying, oh, hey, they're spending money this year. They're sixth in payroll. And to me, it's so much more complicated than that. Like, yes, I'm glad that they're spending a bit more money this year. That's good. Gentle hat tip for that. But that's not where it starts nor where it ends. And to get the full scope of things, Gordo, you did a good job explaining it the other day with your long tweet of the timeline of just bad management, front office, top to bottom of this Red Sox roster. So, yes, that's a long way of me saying, yes, I do think it's appropriate if fans are really that upset. You look to the top. John Henry's the culprit here. He won't address the fans. He won't address the media. He's just in hiding. Like, that's a really bad look, especially when things are going poorly. If this team was winning 100 games and he didn't want to talk to the media, don't think anyone would care. But when the team is struggling, he's not talking to the media. And that camera shot of him going, oh, what are they saying? Sell the team?
Oh, sell the team. That's that's guaranteed. That's the noise coming out of his mouth.
The problem with it is I need to know who's buying the team, because I don't like what Fenway Sports Group is doing, and I don't want to sound like I'm standing up for them, but holy shit, it could get worse. Look at the Pirates, look at the Rays, look at the A's, who are homeless now. It could be worse, could also be a lot better, and I think fans totally have the right to be yapping like that at Fenway Park. They're paying customers. That's how John Henry makes some of his money. They have the right.
Pat, what were your thoughts on it?
I mean, it's kind of years of frustration, kind of just reaching a boiling point for me. I will say, and I am not one to, defend ownership or, sing their praises, but this to me are so far. And again, I still firmly believe they'll turn it around. I still think this is a playoff team, so on and so forth. This is so much more roster construction than it is an ownership thing, because they have the highest payroll in team history this year. They're the sixth highest payroll in baseball. Like, it's not like they lost Bregman and Giolito and all these guys and then just sat back and just upgraded from within. They went out, they swung trades, they gave Ranger the deal, they gave him, they extended Roman, they extended all these guys, Crochet, they extended all these guys. So it's not a spending thing. And once you get beyond the spending, for me at least, I'm not saying ownership's in the clear, but they're also not the top dog to blame.
That's such a good way to put it, Pat, because Sammy, what you were saying is right too. I mean, it starts in 2020. It starts before the 2020 season. They fire Dave Dabrowski. They bring in Chaim Bloom. They trade Mookie Betts. That's where it all began. And for years, ownership didn't try. They didn't spend. They were the reason that the Red Sox were where they were. All understood. It's years of frustration. But when I think about right now, the sell the team chance right now, to me, the frustration is this was a playoff team last year. Why are they 2-8 right now? And that tweet that you mentioned that I sent out that had basically the whole story of the whole sequence, starting with the Devers saga and how it got to this point where they've mismanaged all these assets and all this money. All of that, it's the front office. It's not ownership. Ownership has been willing to sign the checks. Pat just said it. $300+ million checks in the last calendar year. So is ownership to blame for where the organization being where it is? Of course. But to me, my frustration right now is not centered around all of the stuff that happened between 2019 and 2024. It's, hey, this was an 89 win team, and it was low hanging fruit. We talked about it all offseason. They could have easily been AL favorites with the simplest moves. The holes on the roster were obvious, and they tried to make the team better in a creative way. And in the end, I mean, we'll see. It's a long season to play out, and they've won the last 2 games, and that's going to cool down the heat a little bit. But if they don't make the playoffs, we're going to look back on that sequence of moves, how they went from Devers in the name of making Bregman the third baseman and losing Bregman, and taking the Devers assets and losing them for Bregman replacements that to this point have not played well in Caleb Durbin, and spending the Bregman money on a pitcher that to this point has not pitched well in Ranger Suarez. And all of that is a front office thing. It's not an ownership thing. They signed the checks. So yes, be upset at ownership. I'm just a little bit confused as to why the sell the team chants are louder now than they were in 22, 23, 24. And I think a good theory is that Dave Portnoy has been tweeting a lot of sell the team stuff. And and by all means, go for it. I love when fans put pressure on the team when it's not performing. But to me, I think the attention is a little bit misdirected. I'm not saying don't put heat on ownership. I'm just saying they may not be the number one culprit at this exact moment in time.
I get what you're saying, Gordo, but Craig Breslow should not be the effective GM of the team. And the Red Sox had a really good GM in Dave Dombrowski. And the reason that he's no longer the GM and he's with Philadelphia now is because his style requires spending a ton of money. And John Henry didn't want to do that. Then you get Chaim Bloom. Chaim Bloom, say what you want about him. I feel like he was a bit of a scapegoat. That's a terrible look by the organization. Now you fire him, you got to bring in somebody else. Nobody wants the job. You got on your first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth choice. You get Craig Breslow. And now you have to, like you said, Gordo, get creative. None of the best teams get creative. They don't do that. They spend money. They get the best players and they win. That's why people are mad at ownership. I also think the front office deserves a lot of blame. I also think the players deserve a lot of blame, of course. But again, it all starts with the guy at the top, and it didn't have to be this way. Everything we spoke about, all of it, everything could have been avoided if not for John Henry.
I'm not going to argue with that. That's a fair point. And I had a whole other tweet about basically the stuff I just said, and some people were responding with that, and I got no response to that. That's fair too.
Yeah, there's a lot of blame to go around. I think too many people want to go, it's this group or that group, or it's the players. It's everybody. You can debate who's at the top, but everybody deserves a piece of the blame pie.
Yeah, Gordo, going back to the why now kind of thing about ownership. I think it's just more reflective of like the renewed interest in the team. Like they're coming off the playoffs. A lot of teams, and like I'm sure you guys are in the same boat as myself, like people who are kind of those, fair weather Sox fans, were looking forward to baseball season. So you have the normal fan base that has basically been watching since however long, we'll say since 2018. They've seen really bad teams. You're coming off of a playoff, we'll call it a run. You went to the playoffs. Then after that, you also have Roman, your new face of the franchise. He's extended. You have one of the best pitchers in baseball. You still have Cora. Like, there's so much marketability in the team. Hype is high. The casual fan is buying in. And when they start like they have, the last time these people watched, and this isn't a knock on like, the casual fan, but the last time they watched, they're aware of how bad the Sox have been. So it's, oh God, here we go again. Fucking ownership, Mookie, Devers, whatever. I think it's just more reflective of like the great amount of interest that the state and the region has for the Red Sox. That's just the frustration boiling over, and it's just turned into hating ownership.
Yeah, I mean, and they're also an easy target. John Henry doesn't do media. He hasn't done media in years, and the narrative has been building for the last 5 years that they don't spend. And for the most part, in those 5 years, it's been a fair narrative. It's only recently changed. It only changed at the very, very end of last offseason. And even then, it was just a one-year deal for Bregman. To me, it really only changed when they extended Crochet, when they extended Campbell, when they extended Anthony, when they were proactive and extended Chapman, when they signed Ranger Suarez. Like that, those are the deals that to me take some heat off of ownership. And once the money is spent, I look at how it's allocated. If ownership signs, all I care about is that ownership signs the checks. If they sign the checks and the payroll is high and the team's not good, I'm not looking at them. I'm looking at the guys who are advising them on how to spend the money. And you're right, Sammy. They put that guy in place. But if that guy in place isn't doing his job, and I'm not saying we're at the point where we should be calling for Breslo's job or anything. Like, again, we're 12 games into the season. They're coming off two wins. Let's give this thing a chance to play out. But I'm just saying, if this fails and they spent a bunch of money, I mean, people will be held accountable for it. Their ownership is not going to spend this kind of money and see it all go by the wayside.
Mm-hmm. Good luck finding someone to replace Breslow. Oy.
Yeah. I agree. It's a good thing they have Paul Taboni.
Yeah. Oh, man. He's going to be a great GM for the Boston Red Sox someday.
Yeah. But I do love this discussion. I wish I like it. I hate having it because when we have it, it means things aren't going well, but it's always so nuanced. I mean, we didn't even talk about the potential blame for the field staff, for the players, if they underperform what they're supposed to be doing. Like, if the Red Sox don't make the playoffs, there's going to be blame to be assigned to every entity, all four of them.
Yeah, it
But
would be an organizational failure if they don't make the playoffs.
definitely. And we are not there, but if we do get there, get ready for that conversation. Any enough said from you guys before we get out of here?
Pat, go ahead.
Mine's quick. If you have not seen it yet, which I mean, I think it's impossible at this point, do yourself a favor. Go on Twitter. Just look up Rays fan foul ball.
Oh.
That poor guy's ass is all the way out.
Yeah.
I sent it to one of my buddies, and he phrased it perfectly. He said, "I was laughing by the botch catch. I goddamn choked when I saw his ass out."
The thing is,
it's so good.
You see the play and you can tell by the caption that it's going to be something to do with his ass. But you think it's going to just be maybe extended crack. You definitely don't expect it to be the entire goddamn thing.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Joe.
The Trop looks way better now. Look at that.
I forgot that we're back in the Trop. Oh, I'm excited for this. I want to go there.
And then,
I mean,
big flat pancake butt.
The broadcast goes silent. Matt Shaw didn't see it. He's still at the plate. He's just like getting ready for the next day B. And you at home, you just
saw a full moon.
Dude, Don and Jerry would have had an absolute field day with that clip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the first time in civilization that we saw two moons in the same week, that people saw them up close.
That's probably the first time the moon has ever been shown inside of Tropicana's dome.
Hey,
There you go. There you go.
Is it just me or is that an underutilized term? I haven't until just now. I feel like I haven't heard the term mooning someone in years.
You saw
Well,
that
we're at
viral
12.
tweet. You saw that viral tweet that was saying that, didn't you, Gordo? I saw some tweet with 1 billion likes on it. It was like, why does nobody say mooning?
I swear I didn't see that tweet. I'm serious. I haven't heard that term in forever.
We got to start mooning people. Let's go moon at Fenway.
Start making a trend.
Oh,
Yeah.
mooning. I thought you said mooing.
Oh my God. All right, my enough said is pretty simple. I'm so unbelievably sick of players leaving the Red Sox and then becoming really good. We mentioned David Hamilton at the top of the show. I know he had that deflection in Game 3. That was a tough play. He looked really good defensively. He's hitting the ball better, like Gordo mentioned at the top. Kyle Harrison looks nasty with the Brewers. Of course, nobody's surprised. James Tibbs, oh my God. Whatever the hell he's doing with the Dodgers. Just so sick of this. I feel like it happens all the time. Oh, Chase Mydroth, one of the 2 players in Major League Baseball, has hit a home run off of The Miz. I know it was in the Crochet trade, so we're not upset about him not being here, but still, just another example of a guy who's gone, who is now killing it. Good for him. Just tired of it, man. I'm tired. Why does it not happen the other way around? Yes, Joe just said not Shane Drowan. Yeah, he was... whatever. But check back in 6 months. He's going to be amazing. He'll be like a great reliever, or he'll be a middle of the rotation starter, and we'll be saying, oh, I wish we had that. That'd be useful. But nope, not the Red Sox.
The key is you just have to have gotten something back. Kyle Teal looks awesome. Last year, at least. He hasn't played this year. Chase Mydroth looks great. The White Sox are going to get good players from that trade, and it's fine. But
cool.
It's just, you have to have gotten something back. That's why James Tibbs, that's why you get frustrated watching Kyle Harrison and David Hamilton when Caleb Durbin is struggling.
Yep. You know what? I like what our artist Sean Palmer said. If you look at the Raffy trade, maybe Craig didn't do that bad of a job. Because Kyle Harrison looks awesome. James Tibbs looks awesome. He just accidentally traded them away after the Devers trade. God, this guy, Craig Breslow, grinds my gears.
Accidentally. He just,
whoops. Sorry.
Oh, I clicked the wrong button.
Oh, we got Dustin
reject
May.
Trade.
Dustin
I didn't
May
need to click
now.
accept.
Oh, there's one. That's one that makes me feel better. Dustin May has a 15.95 ERA, and that's who the Red Sox are facing on Friday evening. So they don't all get better, but still far too many guys leave the Red Sox and get better. I'm getting real sick of it.
All right. My enough said before we get out of here is going to be a hat tip to Sonny Gray for back-to-back starts. And he should be right now on a 13 1/3 inning scoreless streak, if not for the Sun. Saydon lost the ball and the Sun cost him 2 runs. He had a scoreless start today. Could have been a scoreless start in the home opener. Got a scoreless inning at the end of his first start. And the big shout out here, I tip my hat to him because he tipped his hat to the fans. And for whatever reason, I didn't realize how much I missed that because sometimes you'll see the guys touch their brim, and that's still cool. He did the full on, I'm taking the hat off and waving it to the fans. You know, you guys showed out in the middle of a work day in the freezing cold, showed out for the boys, watched the team, and I appreciate the applause that you're giving me. I'm going to show you some love back. I love when the players show the fans love back. I know the fans can be hard on guys sometimes, especially, game 1 of the series. There were a lot of boo birds, but I mean, when it's tough to lose in Boston, but there's nothing like winning in Boston. You get the love from the fans. I love when players show the love back, and I hope Sonny Gray keeps pitching the way he is. Because again, if the Red Sox are going to win, they're going to need to pitch, and he has looked very much in control the last 2 starts.
Gordo, if you were in the Red Sox dugout when Sonny was coming off the mound, how would you go about greeting him?
Am I on the team or am I me?
You're you, but you're like a bench assistant.
So I'm not a player, but I'm staff. I'm staff.
Your staff, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, just stay safe. Hold the fists out. Just let him decide.
Nice. Okay. What if he turkeys you?
Then that's on him.
All right. I like that. You can't
make
blamed.
him make the if there's going to be a mistake, make it be on him. And he's coming off an awesome start, and he's high-fiving so many people. There's probably going to be 6 or 7 other guys that also have.
All right, wrap.
All right, that's going to do it for episode 342 of Play Tessie. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Remember, we're presented by Baseball Isn't Boring, and you can get your Baseball Isn't Boring merch by going to bbisn'tboring.com. Subscribe to Play Tessie wherever you get your podcasts. Rate 5 stars. Find us on Play Tessie's YouTube channel. Search it up. Remember to be sure you're clicking the right channel. We've still got all our old videos on WEI, but we've got our own channel now. Find the Play Tessie channel. That's where you're going to find all the new stuff. Subscribe there. Hit the thumbs up on the video. We really appreciate it. Find us on the socials at Play Tessie on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. We've got our Carlos Narvaez interview that just went up yesterday. It's on all the podcast platforms. It's on YouTube. We're posting social clips from it. We have all the social clips from our Connolly Early interview up. There's tons of good stuff. So find us there. We will be back on Monday following the St. Louis Cardinals series. That'll be fun. Hopefully grab another series win, make it back-to-back, and we can start gaining some momentum here. But we'll be back to debrief it all on Monday. Till then, for Sammy, for Pat, for Joe producing, it is Gordo here for Play Tessie, episode 342. Thanks for tuning in. Peace.